Most organizations share a common operational baseline. They are exceptionally good at measuring what people deliver. Sales targets and project deadlines are tracked with forensic precision. But measuring delivery only captures the result. It misses the specific behaviors that drive that result, how an individual actually manages a team or handles pressure. This creates a paradox in talent management. Organizations take their highest performers, promote them into leadership roles, assuming past delivery guarantees future capability. The problem is that potential is an unmeasurable promise. Behavior, on the other hand, is observable, scorable, and highly predictive of success. When you reward performance with leadership authority without assessing behavioral fit, you engineer a structural blind spot into your enterprise. This blind spot creates the leadership gap. It triggers when the priority of delivery outranks the reality of capability. First, high performers are promoted into leadership roles they are behaviorally unsuited for. This happens because the organization lacks a consistent framework to identify actual capability. Without hard data, talent assessment becomes entirely subjective. It is filtered through the individual biases of current managers rather than being evaluated on evidence. Consequently, visibility into the organization's bench strength vanishes. Succession planning is no longer a strategic process. It is reduced to guesswork. You are left with managers who attempt to develop their teams simply by doing the work themselves, neglecting the task of growing their people. The combined effect of these failures is higher attrition and inconsistent leadership quality across the board. The leadership gap ensures that your organization's most critical capability remains invisible, right up until the moment it walks out the door. To solve this, leadership capability can no longer be treated as an abstract HR concept. It must be approached as a measurable, operational engineering problem. This is the function of the Business EQ System. It is a science-backed diagnostic framework designed to measure the specific traits that actually predict success. Rather than evaluating vague concepts like potential, the system operates by identifying and extracting specific, validated behavioral markers. It measures decisiveness, motivation, influence, and adaptability. It then maps those against empathy, resilience, conscientiousness, and self-awareness. These 8 traits are not theoretical. They are highly observable, scorable data points that link directly to an individual's performance in a given role. By isolating these specific behaviors, organizations stop relying on instinct. They can mathematically map out leadership capability and predict success. This diagnostic engine runs on a single input, one 20-minute questionnaire. From that brief input, the engine generates 5 enterprise-grade outputs. The first is a full behavioral profile, utilizing role-fit color coding to make the data instantly readable. The second output is a comprehensive leadership style report, mapping the individual's exact tendencies across 6 distinct management styles. Third, it produces a personalized recruitment interview guide to standardize the hiring process. Fourth is a manager coaching toolkit, fully equipped with ready-to-use questions for immediate practical application. And finally, it generates concrete behavioral KPIs. This allows an employee's behavior to be measured and evaluated exactly like their delivery metrics. The system is designed for global uniformity, available in 17 languages to ensure a common standard across all regions. This architecture takes a singular, brief questionnaire and transforms it into a comprehensive, unbiased operational language for the entire enterprise. Implementing this framework and shifting an organizational culture from instinct to evidence requires a phased introduction, structured to align with your immediate priorities. Phase 1 focuses on leadership insight. It begins at the top, with senior leaders completing their own profiles. Through private 60 to 90-minute feedback sessions, leaders assess their own management style against the demands of both their current and future roles. Phase 2 scales the system through manager enablement. This involves a targeted half-day accreditation program for key mid-level managers. It equips these managers to recruit new talent, coach their existing teams, and assess performance using one single consistent framework. The goal here is a definitive psychological shift. Managers are trained to stop relying on gut instinct and begin leading strictly with evidence. By the end of this middle phase, the previously invisible bench strength of your organization is finally visible, documented, and fully measurable. Phase 3 is cultural embedding. This is the final state, where these behavioral KPIs are hardwired directly into standard performance and review cycles. It enables exact year-on-year benchmarking of your workforce's capability and allows you to utilize high-performer profiling to lock in your succession planning. Leadership quality officially transitions from an abstract, subjective HR concept into a quantifiable, improvable organizational asset. The reality of modern corporate operations is that almost every standard process can be optimized. Operational frameworks and compliance training can be easily automated, but the quality of your people leadership cannot. It requires human assessment, development, and care. That makes exceptional leadership the ultimate unautomatable competitive advantage for any enterprise. Securing that advantage demands a uniform, evidence-based system, one that identifies, develops, and retains the very best people, regardless of their region, their language, or their experience level.